Good, happy Saturday evening. It is Saturday, June 17, 2023. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on RK Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Saturday evening, so let's get started right now. First step, hovercraft beaches itself on Hampton Beach after suffering a tear in the skirt. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Rebate season is here. Now is the time to visit Rochester Motorsports on Route 11 in Rochester or Seacoast Powers.
Unusual is the word, Grace. This just isn't something that you see every day. And we're going to walk and show you. Check this out. Yes, this is a hovercraft. We just spoke with the crew. You can see them working right now. They were making their way from Cape Cod to Nova Scotia when they had to make an unexpected stop here at Hampton Beach. Police Chief Alex Reno told us it had a 3-foot tear in its skirt. You can see they're trying to repair that right now. And they had to beach the hovercraft. Luckily, no one was hurt. Everyone is okay. And Chief Reno said this is a decommissioned Coast Guard hovercraft. It's privately owned, and it's traveled all over. They brought it down the west coast from Canada. It went through the Panama Canal, and its next step was Portland, Maine, before heading back up to Canada. 2 Coast Guard officials were on board. Police say they're calling it unofficial travel, so they weren't working. But again, everyone is okay, and Marine Patrol is on the scene right now helping out. Obviously, this is a pretty big spectacle for a lot of people. Excited to see what's happening. We are going to talk to that crew, so we'll have more from our interview with them coming up later tonight at 11. We're live at Hampton Beach. Ariel Metropolis, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Newport Road washed out after flash flooding from heavy rain. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Bullfrog Spas are the most customizable spas available, and they're available right now at Custom Pools and Spas. Patented.
Grace, there are about half a dozen homes just up the hill from where we're standing right now. In fact, crews now starting to bring in some heavy equipment to stop this water from flowing, so it makes it easier to reach them. All this because that heavy rain led to some flash flooding here. Now, this is not a dried up riverbank. This is what was Sand Hill Road here in Newport. It was washed away by that heavy rain and flash flooding earlier today. We want to show you what it looks like while the water was flowing through here. No, that's not a waterfall. That's the road here in Newport. The fire department tells us this is a pretty big problem right now. They cannot get any emergency vehicles in or out of the area. They also say that about half a dozen people do live up the road from here. The only other way out is an old Class 6 road that firefighters tell us is impassable for most vehicles. First responders are here assessing the damage right now, trying to figure out safe ways up and down the hill to reach those people. One neighbor we spoke with on the phone tells us that he was told the road washed out just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. He is grateful he still has his power on and everyone in his home is okay. Another person we spoke with says that he's seen some storm damage on this street before, but nothing to this extent.
We're all right. We're a strong community up there of the 6 or 8 houses.
And to give you an idea of just how serious this damage is, if you take a look down by my feet right now, you can see all the rocks that have been washed away in this strong water as well. We spoke with the fire department just a few minutes ago. They tell us it would likely take days to get things back in working order here. Live in Newport, Ross Ketchke, WMUR.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man who allegedly stole a box truck in New Hampshire facing kidnapping and stolen vehicle charges. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's time to make your backyard your favorite place to be. Experience hours of family fun and relaxation in a new custom design.
A Connecticut man is facing several charges, including kidnapping, for an alleged crime spree that began in New Hampshire. Prosecutors say in January, Barry Perez stole a box truck in Lebanon, but eventually crashed it into a rock on Interstate 89 in Vermont. A Good Samaritan stopped to try to help, but Perez allegedly pointed a fake gun at the driver and forced him to drive to Berlin, Vermont. The truck driver was able to eventually get away before responding officers found Perez in the cab of the truck. If convicted, Perez could face life in prison.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Patriots star Jack Jones arrested at Logan Airport facing firearms charges, police say. And it happened on Friday evening. Nashua Planning Board unanimously votes down plan for asphalt plant. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's time to make your backyard your favorite place to be. Experience hours of family fun and relaxation in a new custom design.
Nashua City Planning Board rejected a proposed asphalt plant. The planning manager says this week's vote was unanimous against the Temple Street plan. In recent months, there's been a lot of pushback from people in the Gate City because of environmental impacts. The mayor also publicly came out against the proposal.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Wet finish in the forecast for Laconia Motorcycle Week. Wet finish in the forecast for Laconia Motorcycle Week. It could be a wet finish for the 100th Laconia Motorcycle Week this weekend. But despite dreary weather this year, riders said they are still taking in every moment. Stormwatch 9 meteorologists said rain is possible on Saturday and could be heavy at times. Sunday afternoon will be drier after some morning showers. And that does it for this news report right here on RK Network. I'm Riley King reporting for RK Network. Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Drivers getting some relief at the pump this summer. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS News.
At Domino's, you can get more than just amazing, delicious pizza. There's also lava cakes, bread bites, and more.
After hitting record highs last year, gasoline prices are lower ahead of the busy summer driving season, but there are still bumps in the road ahead. CBS's Michael George joins us with more. Michael, good evening.
Adriana, good evening. What a difference a year makes. Last spring, we saw record high gas prices heading into the summer. This year, fueling up is a lot more affordable, and that could give drivers a big savings boost at the pump. Right as Americans prepare for that summer road trip, some good news. The price of gas is far cheaper than the sky-high prices last year.
Last year, we were planning to go to Arcadia and Maine, and when we thought about how much it would have cost, we said, let's wait, so we're actually leaving next week.
The average cost of a gallon of regular right now is $3.58. That's down $1.43 from the $5 a gallon it cost last summer.
If you're planning a summer car trip, this is a great year to do it.
Andrew Gross from AAA says the biggest factor for this decline at the pump is the cost of crude oil.
Last summer, we were still dealing with the oil shock from Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and the reason why that shock happened is Russia is one of the leading producers of oil.
Though the war rages, Russian oil supplies are steady. Demand for gas in the U.S. is relatively low, keeping prices down. Also impacting summer travel, the cost of a new car is up nearly 5%, and auto insurance rates are up a staggering 17%. Experts say the rising cost of cars and auto repairs are partly to blame. So the big question, will drivers get to enjoy these gas prices all summer? Well, analysts say at least for the next few weeks, and it could last longer if the hurricane season doesn't impact oil supplies. Adriana?
Michael George at the pump, thank you.
Okay, and we're gonna switch gears now, and let's go into weather. And here is meteorologist Jacqueline Thomas with a full weather forecast.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment.
Thanks for watching. I'm meteorologist Jacqueline Thomas. Heading through the day today, we've seen the soggy conditions. We even had some flooding reports and some areas where we saw some flash flood warnings. So impact weather continues through the rest of the night tonight. Steady periods of rain, heavy at times, although as we head through the night, the rain will start to get a little bit lighter. Still could see a downpour or two this evening, and watch for ponding on roadways and any minor flooding or standing water. You never want to try to drive through that. Temperatures were much cooler, of course, across the area today. Highs only in the 60s, well below average, and of course, very, very wet with the rain coming down pretty much all day long. Satellite and radar showing how steady the rain was towards the end of the day and into the early evening hours. And as we head through the night tonight, we'll start to see the rain lightening up at times, but many spots picking up over an inch of rain from this, and locally where we had persistent downpours, some areas had seen 2 to even 3 inches of rain earlier in the day. Tonight, we'll continue to get showers and periods of rain. Lows generally fall back into the 50s. And as far as the timeline goes, we'll start to see the steady rain taper off, or at least become a little bit more broken up. It will likely remain damp through the night, even if it's not raining heavily. So areas of drizzle, some of that fine misting that you can see, just dealing with some of that moisture, even as the heaviest rain winds down or shifts out of the area. And then as we head into tomorrow, we likely end up with some lingering showers early in the morning, especially north and east. But then as the day goes on, we start to dry out a little bit. Those showers become much, much more isolated, if anything at all, much lighter too, perhaps a little patch of drizzle or a sprinkle during the midday hours. And we could even get into some breaks in the clouds before the day ends. And then tomorrow night, we end up with some clearing. So gradual improvements through the day on Sunday. Good news for the Father's Day holiday. If you want to get outside at all, you should be able to at least find some drier hours. So tomorrow, temperatures also not quite as cool. We reach the upper 60s in spots, even some 70s possible as you head further south in the state. But the clouds generally hang on before we see those breaks of sun and the showers really wind down. Precipitation chances, still dealing with the potential for a few showers to start next week, Monday, Tuesday, drier, Wednesday, Thursday, perhaps another chance for showers by the end of the week. But the big difference is going to be the temperatures. As we head through the next several days, we actually start to see the potential for some more summer-like warmth as we officially kick off the summer season on Wednesday. It may start a more summery feel, a trend where temperatures could get back into the 80s.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Jacqueline Thomas. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on RK Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Good night and goodbye.